Good evening, everyone. I am going to present about the cosmopolite in a cafe. This is a short story about a person meeting a cosmopolite in a cafe and realizes that cosmopolite still attaches to their homeland. Owen challenges the idea of cosmopolitanism through irony and emotional attachments to homeland. Like in the story, the cosmopolite still remembers his homeland and has love for his identity. O. Henry is an American author. He goes by the real name Sidney Potter (1862 to 1910). His literary styles are ironic, humorous, twist endings, and realism. O. Henry wrote about ordinary people or common people like the cosmopolite. His stories reveal hidden emotions, and he is famous for twisted endings or surprising endings. The Cosmopolite in a Cafe is set in New York Cafe. Main character is the narrator and a cosmopolite named Erasmo Coughlin. Basic situation in the story is the conversation about belonging. The cosmopolite claims he has no hometown, later admits love for his hometown. The cosmopolite claims he belongs everywhere. Ending shows that he truly loves his hometown. The story is simple but carries a deeper message that identity needs roots. Cosmopolitanism is the idea that a person belongs to the whole world, rather than one specific nation or culture. Global citizenship, cultural openness, or international identity. Cosmopolitans call themselves citizens of the world and they don't have hometown, but the story questions it if that's truly possible or not. The thesis or the central argument of the story is Owen uses irony and emotional revelation in a cosmopolite in a cafe to show that global identity cannot completely uh, erase local identity because people remain emotionally connected to their root and homeland. We must note that local identity stays attached. The presentation will prove this idea through the themes, characters, analysis, and literary techniques used in the story. The illusion of cosmopolitanism. The cosmopolite pretends to belong everywhere. He rejects nationalism and local attachment. His attitude appears intellectual and sophisticated. The cosmopolite acts detached from any place by pretending to belong everywhere and rejects nationalism and local attachment. But his attitude is an illusion because the story reveals that he is attached to his hometown. Local identity cannot be erased. Mention of his hometown changes his emotion. Emotional attachment remains powerful. Memory and identity are connected. The cosmopolite claims worldly identity, but he reacts emotionally to his hometown. The emotional identity is stronger than intellectual identity because the story reveals that emotional identity beats intellectual identity. The use of irony in the story. Irony uses in the story are situational irony, character irony. Example, Cosmopolite actually loves one place. Irony exposes the truth about the cosmopolite when he claims he is from everywhere but is really attached to his hometown. So when we uses irony to criticize fake cosmopolitanism, patriotism and belonging, love for homeland, nostalgia, emotional roots, pride in everyone is attached to their origins and no one is not because your origin is your identity. Homeland is part of personal identity because this is where you get your identity of belonging from and not everywhere else. Connections to modern society. Modern examples like globalization, migration, international education, social media culture, and multicultural identity. Critical views are like even in a globalized world, people continue to value their language, culture, tradition, and homeland. For example, like people in Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guineans become citizens in other countries but still hold their identity. Traveling or living abroad does not make their identity forgettable. Their local cultural identity still remains in them. Literary devices used in the story are irony, dialect, symbolism, characterization, realism. Irony reveals the truth about the cosmopolite by exposing its belonging. Dialect helps communication to reveal the truth and hidden emotion of the cosmopolite. Symbolism let us know that local identity is still attached with us. Characterization tells us that our origin remains is in us even if we travel or live abroad. Because when Owenry characterizes the cosmopolitan and reveals it, realism reveals the truth when Owenry focuses on the cosmopolitan's emotions. Critical theory application. Post-colonial theory is about identity, hybridity, cultural roots, global versus local identity. Reader response theory, readers emotional connect with the idea of home. Theory depends the meaning of the story by letting us know that it's not only about the cosmopolite, but about everyone. Post-colonial theory is specifically about our identity and belonging. To conclude, cosmopolitanism in the story is partly an illusion. Human beings remain emotionally tied to their roots. Global identity coexists with local identity. Okay, global identity is fake and it cannot remove the local identity because everyone are emotionally connected to their origin. The story is about whether people are really detached to their local identity or not, and ONV challenges the idea of cosmopolitanism. Discussion questions. One, can anyone truly become a citizen of the world? No, that's not true. Okay, two, why do people remain attached to their homeland? Because it gives their local identity and it cannot be removed. Okay, three, does globalization weaken local culture? No, people are attached to local culture. Okay, four, is local identity important today? Yes, it is important today. It is important because it is the origin and the real identity of people. And here are the references to my presentation. If you are interested, you can go on and look up yourselves. Thank you for your time and thanks for watching.